And second one is we have to consider strong chart and weak chart. It's very simple. There's a strong chart and weak chart. Strong chart usually considered as strong vitality. Weak chart has weak vitality. In general, in Oriental medicine, we can say strong qi. Weak chart has weak qi. And do you know how to determine the strong and weak chart? And it was also the very beginning topic of our live session. Like for wood daily master, if chart has more water and wood, it is called as more my side, and that one is more considered as a strong chart. And if the wood chart has more fire, earth, and metal, it is considered as a more weak chart. Let's make an example. Visualize more. I'll just bring the real chart. Okay, in this kind of case, is this chart weak or strong? Can you guys figure out? We said wood and water is considered as my side, and the other three, fire, earth, and metal, is considered as the other side, which can make the chart weak. Yeah, this is a really strong chart. Tiger, rabbit, plus the boar. This water is supporting the wood. There's 3 wood on the heavenly stem. This one is not really counted as a strength, but at least it is the wood and water energy is more than fire, earth, and metal. Okay, so in this case, we consider this one as a strong chart by wood, and we can start considering this person might have strong vitality in general, comparing with weak chart people. That is not always the right concept, but in general, strong chart has more vitality and more endurance in certain situations. So I think the strength is kind of, it has a lot of advantage, I think, to live this world. But it doesn't mean they have really like a healthy body. They usually do not talk about sickness. They are not really sick here and there, but sometimes they suddenly collapsed. For example, like stroke. Yeah. But weak chart people usually complain sickness here and there. Like they have like back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, they have the stomach ache, but that's it. They usually do not have like sudden collapse. So usually like weak people has like weak stomach getting worse and worse, or weak kidney getting worse and worse, weak liver getting worse and worse. Like strong chart people, they don't show certain symptom normally, and suddenly they kind of get fainted, or suddenly their blood pressure gets really high and go to ER. Because of, I think, the vitality they have, they do not really sense very little sickness. They do not really care about that. Weak people has more, usually weak people usually has more worriness, usually have they usually sense more, so they can sense here and there more than strong chart. I have another wood case, and can you figure out this one is more strong chart or more weak chart? It has 4 wood on the heavenly stem, but metal and earth on the earthly branch. What do you think? This one is obviously weak chart. I said we consider earthly branch more when we figure out it is strong or weak. Heavenly stem, if heavenly stem doesn't have any root on the branch, there's no power. Like only this E wood has a little power on the goat. This one has the wood storage, but it's generally really weak chart. This is a female. She complains pain all the times. She complains pain all the times, but her body condition is not getting really worse, not really getting better, just always there. Like she cannot sleep well. She dreams all the times. She always has back pain. She cannot really digest the food well. So she always have that carefulness. So she always take care of her health. So if her body gets worse, she has to take care and then make it better, recover, and then getting worse, recover, getting worse, recover. Those kind of pattern is repeated in the weak chart usually. Strong chart, they don't know like, oh, maybe why this is a little uncomfortable, whatever. Like they just focus on money making like that, and they forgot about their pain, and then those are accumulated, and then suddenly exploded someday. That is more about strong chart. What about weak and strong chart in combination with seasons? What about if rabbit daily master comes in winter time? The rabbit daily master, which means the Yi-wood, this one is the born in the winter time. The born in certain season is deciding about the 30 to 40% of the environment on earthly branch. So it is the starting point. Born in this winter time means, oh, this wood is born in a cold place, cold time. So it could be really cold chart, but it doesn't really decide everything. But born in winter time, wood daily master, there are many possibilities, a lot of possibilities to be a strong chart. Can we say it's extreme strong birth chart? Yeah, this is kind of extreme strong birth chart. Yeah, they strong. Oh, dynamite diva. Okay, yeah, because of these 4 wood, you say strong. There is some strength in the society. Like stems usually means outside society, social life, and branch is kind of inside, at home, invisible. So she could behave like a strong person outside in social life, and at home, inside, she is overwhelmed by this earth and the metal energy. Weak but balanced. That's also, I think that makes more sense, because even though this is the weak chart, but this heavenly stem is kind of making a little bit balance to the branch, but usually the branch energy is 60 to 70%, and stem's energy is 30 to 40. So I will say branch energy is more strong. But this is not very important to really say this chart is strong or weak. The key is strong chart has a little bit more vitality and then more endurance, strong charisma, kind of, in general. Weak chart has more weak vitality, weak chi. I have a strong chart, young earth, but I have emptiness of blood. Yeah. Yep, because of the 4 wood, but I forgot that the branch counts more. How about the extreme strong chart? Can it have sudden collapse? Extreme, that is just one example to say that. Like, it doesn't mean strong chart always have sudden collapse. Weak chart always don't have sudden collapse. It is kind of partiality. It's a tendency. Do not really believe what I say, everything 100%. That is just tendency. In my experience in this field, I saw many strong chart people they tend to ignore their health issue, especially the men strong people. They used to forget their health issue, because strong chart people are actually good at focusing on money. Strong people used to work for their family. They are really good at making money. They can see the money flow. So they more focus on money making. Usually, that is not also 100%, but because of this financial aspect, and especially the male person in this society, they tend to work more than female outside. So they used to forget about taking care of their own health. So they just push themselves. Strong people have more power to push something. They have more energy to really focus on valuable things, getting the valuable things, which means money making, financial aspect. So they used to concentrate on those aspects until 50 or 60. So every problem has been accumulated more and more for many years, and then suddenly they collapse. Weak people, I'm not represented as a weak people, but weak people, if they feel tired, they feel really tired, they used to want to just take a rest more. Like weak people, they have weak vitality. I said they get tired easily, more than strong people. So when they feel tired, when they feel a little bit painful, they just take a rest. They more look at their body inside more than the strong people. So it's a tendency of the personality, mixture of society, everything. And weak people usually good at study and learning more than money making in early age. Studying and learning is usually sitting down, usually the sitting down situation. focusing on money is using their body, so it can create more ignorance on their health more. But Paula, you have strong chart, Yang Earth, really strong Earth. We talked about that before. Really strong Earth with fire or Earth itself can deplete the metal water yin aspect. So those can make a imbalance as well. Yin is all about the fluid in the body. Yin is fluid in the body. So if yang is too dominant and yin is weak, that person might have lack of the fluid in the body. And blood is part of the fluid. And if we divide yang and yin, balance of yin and yang, too much yang people can have more stroke, paralysis, faint, blood pressure issue, those kind of aspect. Too much yin is kind of towards more cancer, but do not really worry about if your chart is like that, you might have cancer like that. But sure, if your chart is like that, you have to really take care of those cancer aspect. This is so true, difference between weak and strong chart in terms of taking care of health. Yeah. Yes, I agree totally concerning the weak people and studying and learning. Yes. They have to gain more power to go outside. That is the kind of destiny of the weak chart. I saw some websites saying extremely strong birth chart has self and mother element as Yongshin. That is controversial. That is the exceptional chart. Really strong. Maybe this one. We will talk about that later, but I don't really see that as a health aspect, health or family relation, or the relationship between husband and wife. Those extreme chart, as you said, the follow the strong chart doesn't really work in the health aspect. Health is always balanced. It's always talk about the balancing. And family relation is always talk about the balancing. But for the money making, for working for the government, the working for some organization, forget about myself. That is kind of sacrificing myself or sacrifice other people to my power. So I said that is a sacrificing chart. It is exceptional chart. Like this one, metal yang yin is dominant, so metal water is yongshin, like that. Like if this chart meets a little bit about fire, this strong metal water will just kill this fire easily. They distinguish this fire easily. So it is better to just be themselves as water more than looking at some other energy, because it is kind of disaster. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of yin aspect people looking at one yang person. So these 8 people have some kind of really strong desire to get this steam fire, so the war can happen. So, and people thought maybe just meeting one more rainwater might be no difference as this chart. So they said this could be Yongshin, like that. But actually my lineage disagree with that. Disagree with that in the perspective of the balancing. Yeah. Like for example, if the 10-year the Dayun cycle is like that, like yearly energy is like that, monthly energy is like that. If this kind of dominant chart meet this kind of situation, it can make a balance. So it could be a really good time for this chart. But just being fire only, it cannot really make a balance. Yeah. So we have to think many layers about that.